So to continue the performance conversation, one of those rare occasions where I'm actually going to talk about performance coaching and why performance coaching works. And today I want to really touch on something that I come across all too often. Not the specific, but the context, the metaphor. And it's when there are symptoms of challenge, when there are symptoms that are getting in the way of performance. So I've already talked about the performance equation and how psychology and our thinking can get in the way. Well, let's take this as an example. So I want you to think for a moment, are you somebody that procrastinates? Have you procrastinated? Do you, do things and consciously know that actually that's procrastination and takes you away from what it is you're truly trying to focus on doing? Well, to coach that, to unlock the performance, to unlock the potential in that one, we've got to go deeper than just looking at the symptom. We've got to go deeper than just looking at strategies on how to deal with procrastination. We've got to understand what drives the procrastination in the first place. And it isn't a surface level topic. It means that we've got to go a little bit deep. It means that we've got to dive into probably asking some maybe challenging questions. Looking at what it is that when you're procrastinating that you're avoiding doing, what drives that avoidance. See, performance coaching isn't a surface level conversation. It's far deeper than that. And in order to unlock the potential in somebody, in order to help them reach their true performance, we have to start to shift the narrative. And in order to shift the narrative, we've got to find out what true cause is. And it's never what presents itself on the surface. Over the 20 years I've been doing this now, I've had multiple different conversations where on the face of it, someone starting a conversation will present something to me as, maybe their reason as to why they do or don't do something. But by the end of the session, we actually understand a little bit more about what drives that behavior. What drives that habit, what's getting in the way, what's slowing them down. And the moment we do that, we can start to shift the narrative to a point where we can have a meaningful outcome. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I can do that myself. Well, you can, if you know how to have that conversation in your own head between those two ears. And in all likelihood, if you haven't done it yet, then it might well be that external influence, that coach influence, having somebody that's able to ask the right questions and unlock some of that challenge in order to determine where it is and what it is you want to achieve, that's where it helps. That's what coaching really facilitates. And if you look at any high performer, whether that is in the business world or in the sports world, you will find that their coach focuses on tapping into that high performance, that potential that is just dormant. And they don't go for surface results. They go deep. Now, I just want to caveat what I've said here with some conscious context in relation to another skill set which coaching doesn't cover, and that's counselling. A really, high performance professional coach knows the barrier, knows the difference. It's not necessarily something that they avoid or step away from, but they know where the limitations of their expertise lie. And true coaching focuses on a future context, where often is the case in counselling, we've got to unpack the past to understand it in order to actually fix any psychological problems that may present themselves in that way. So high performance coaches worth their weight in gold in terms of actually unlocking that potential, and they don't stop at the surface. They go deep, they unlock long-term lasting future potential. So hopefully you found that quite useful and interesting. If you did, drop us a comment, let us know what your thoughts are, and always happy to engage. Hope that's helpful.